Welcome to the MLG Spring Championship Kespa Starcraft2 qualifiers. This is the semifinals from Group B, the second set between SoO and Bbyong. So spawning in the bottom left, or excuse me, top left-hand position from SKT1, the Zerg player in the blue. His name is SoO.
His opponent is from CJ Entus, spawning as Red Terran on the right bottom corner of the map. His name is Bbyong.
I do like his name Exito, though. I wish he actually used that instead of Bbyong, because Byong's just, you know, like a standard, Korean name. But Exito is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and usually on ladder, a lot of CJ players actually tend to use the places around their hometown or where the practice house is. So you see some name of a station or some name of a mountain, and they have the whoa. Okay, Bbyong accidentally canceled his proxy barracks. Okay.
And he's sending out a second one. I mean, it's just kind of funny. And the even funnier thing is this Overlord is going to scout it. You see, like, look at the Fog War, man. It's like creeping, and it's like dun-na, dun-na.
Second barracks, where is it? It goes down as the Overlord scouts it right away.
And SoO sees this. He's going to be like, oh, well then. Thanks for showing me the second proxy racks here. And you know what? SoO is already up 1-0 over his opponent Bbyong, and he's getting a gas, he's getting his pool, not going for the hatchery at the natural here. So this is kind of going to be a build order loss for Bbyong since he's going for the proxy racks all in, but SoO scouted it, and he also hasn't revealed to Bbyong that he has scouted the proxy racks. So that's another huge thing to point out here.
The main question is, did he actually see the glimpse because the SCV was moving around? I don't think he saw it, which is the reason why SoO moved the Overlord around, but we're still not sure if Bbyong saw the Overlord or not. And there has been some scenarios where if the Terran player realizes what's happening, they just build the Marines just enough to defend against the Zerglings from what SoO has and wall off at the natural completely.
Yeah. All right, well, we have 6 Zerglings in production here, as well as a Queen, and SoO, he is getting some gas right now. He's got a lot of minerals banked up here.
Smart location. The Zerglings are not going to get a full surround. And yes, Bbyong exactly knowing what SoO is up to. After SoO realizing that there was 2 racks in the middle of the map, after fortifying the Marines completely, he's going to pull back the barracks.
Yeah, and I think Bbyong realized, hey, I don't think my opponent's got an expansion here, and I need to pull back here. He knows what's up. And look at this Bbyong. He's already got 2 supply depots there, going for a third to completely wall off here. Bbyong, though, looking a little bit nervous today, man. He's making some interesting mistakes, I want to say. I don't want to just say they're normal mistakes. They're quite interesting.
Well, since this is a best-of-3 series, I'm just going to go ahead and say he is shaken a lot from game number 1.
So game number 1, yeah, SoO must have just done something to him to kind of throw him off, rattle his bones a little bit here. And, in the second game, now he's behind. His proxy racks has failed. He's getting his natural now, though. And he's starting his wall off here, and he doesn't have any gas yet. So just overall, Bbyong is going to be pretty far behind in tech and economy compared to his opponent SoO. But SoO, look at this, he's going for the Roach Horn.
This is nice from SoO. He just wants to apply heavy pressure against his opponent, knowing that he is up 1-0 in this series against Bbyong. The Zerglings are not going to do anything, but remember, because he went for the proxy 2 racks in the middle of the map, his economy is, Bbyong's economy is going to get delayed. He still doesn't even have gas right now.
Yeah, and to counter him being so far behind in the economy game, going for a very fast third expansion here, and this is, I think, something SoO is kind of banking on here, because that's just going to make this Roachling attack that much more powerful. The Zergling speed is now completed as well, and the question is, how many Roaches are we going to see in commitment here from SoO? He does have the Roach Horn completed, and he has not been making any Lings here, or drones.
So he's just making Overlords behind us just right now, and we don't see a third hatchery going down from SoO behind us either, as he has a Roach Horn to back this up.
There we go, 4 Roaches in production now, 5 in production from SoO, so he's going to go ahead and keep building more Roaches behind this. He's going to try to make a bust happen at this natural here, or wait until Bbyong sells off that bunker and tries to go to the natural with his main forces.
Yeah, and this is really nice by SoO. He should definitely follow this up with a third hatchery behind this, unless he wants to go for the all-in right now. because he knows that his opponent is so far behind. All he has to do right now with the Roaches is try to delay the natural expansion as long as possible. But we have double factory out on the way from Bbyong.
I actually really like that because this is going to allow him to get siege tanks and Widow Mines / Hellbats. And oh, the SCV does scout. The Roach is walking by here, and SoO, he's going to go ahead and pick off that SCV. But this has alerted Bbyong of what's going to happen here, and he is not going to go down to that natural anytime soon. Well, he's going to float his command center over there, but only temporarily. Maybe just use it as kind of like a spotter. And he is building an additional bunker behind that wall at the natural here. So Bbyong, I think for now, he should be safe, but it's just going to take him that much longer to take the natural.
Yes, that's SoO's game plan right now. He's taking a third hatchery behind this, so we know that SoO's not going to go for a complete all-in at this point. Circling, blocking the command center over there, really nice play from SoO as he's just trying to delay that expansion as long as possible. But Bbyong, he has enough time to get the siege tanks out, and he has enough Marines and Widow Mines to fend off the attack from SoO.
Yeah. All right, well, looking at the economy of these players here, we are already up to 41 workers compared to the 34 for Bbyong over SoO. He could have more if he didn't make so many units early on, but deciding to just have those units just in case earlier on or to apply some pressure. You know, no really harm in that. And, whoa, we have Blue Flame being researched from Bbyong here. This is very peculiar. What do you think about this?
Yeah, because usually players try to defend on the Hellbats, but hold on a second, SoO's trying to go for the attack.
He's moving in here. The Lings get picked off quite easily. The Siege Tank in excellent position. That's going to prevent those Roaches from moving too far into the natural. But, you know, he's able to go ahead and harass the natural expansion here. There's only one Marauder in the army mix, and that's going to make sure that these units can't really get taken out here. All right, well, we do have a Siege Tank getting closer to that ramp there, but SoO continuing to reinforce with a lot of additional Zerglings. He may just completely ignore the tank and wreak havoc on the forces here at the natural. That's exactly what he's doing, and now Bbyong, he is pretty much down to a single tank, and it's in this position where it can actually get blocked off here. The SCVs trying to move down to the low ground, I think, actually, but the supply depots were lifted here.
He is completely shaken in this game. You can look at Bbyong's micro. Some of those SCVs were supposed to go down and try to surround the Roaches from the back, and the Marines and the Hellions could have dealt the damage to the Roaches, but the problem is the supply depot was lifted, and he didn't even see it. Blue Flame Hellion hasn't been revealed, but you don't want to reveal it at this second right now.
I'm sure SoO's probably thinking to himself, why did he get that? You know you can build Hellbats, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, compared to Hellbats, if you already have a Tech Lab, it's not a bad choice to go for, because Blue Flame Hellions, they still deal a nice damage against the drones, and they are much faster than Hellbats.
Yeah, there's no Spine Crawlers here to deal with these, but the Zergling speed, it will be able to get a good surround and pick off a lot of the Blue Flame Hellions here. They're in the red, in the orange, but still 3 of them survive. Just reminding us how powerful that Blue Flame is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people forget how great Blue Flame Hellions are.
It's like a lot of people forget what Banshees are.
That's why they had to patch it, just to make sure that it costs even less.
Yeah. All right, well, we do have a Spire on the way from SoO. So he's going to be able to move into the mute attack whenever he wants to. He's getting his 1-1 as well. That's going to complete very shortly here. And Bbyong's starting to stabilize. Stim is just about to complete here. He's getting the +1 attack and shields. Continuous Hellions being produced here from Bbyong. And it's just going to turn into a pretty interesting unit composition here. He's just making Hellions.
Yeah. Well, I guess his initial thought was to at least make a siege tank behind this. And why not go for the Blue Flame since I already have the tech level there? Yeah. And also, he doesn't have to invest any money into siege mode anymore because it's part of his form. So it's not a bad choice to go for the Blue Flame Hellions at this point, I have to say, especially since he is far behind and he needs something like Blue Flame Hellions to deal a lot of damage against the Zerglings and possibly go for a counter drop and kill a lot of drones.
SoO is trying to jockey for some position there, but Bbyong having none of that, keeping those Blue Flame Hellions and the Marauders alive, being very cost efficient with them. Looks like we have Widow Mines now, additional ones in production, as well as Siege Tanks. Bbyong just utilizing every single unit except for the Hellbat from the factory, which is quite odd and ironic if you think about it. Usually that's the unit that's utilized the most nowadays in Heart of the Swarm from Terran. And he is going to go ahead and make that armory, though, so we could see those eventually. A lot of additional reactors being added on. I see 4 or 5 in production in total from the Terran players, so he's going to be just churning out a lot of units very soon here. But SoO still has a pretty solid supply advantage. He's got his 3rd base, a macro hatchery at the 3rd. He's getting a 4th as well, and we don't even see Bbyong going for a 3rd base anytime soon. He's got the additional command center, but that's it.
And it's actually moving towards the 3 o'clock position. How do you feel about taking a 3 o'clock position as a Terran player against Zerg on this map, rather than the pocket expansion that you have at the left bottom corner?
It's kind of like a stylistic preference, I guess. The thing is, you have siege tanks, which can help from the high ground defend the low ground. And it just kind of it changes the position where your units are. Instead of being at your natural, they're more between your natural and third.
Now we have the Mutas stacking up, and Bbyong does not see this, as now SoO is going to charge in with his own Mutas. Only 2 Marines inside the main base, piece of cake.
Yeah. All right,
So
the
they're
Mutas
walking in, and these SCVs are completely uncovered as
no
there's no
missile turrets.
Yeah. The Marines are coming back, which forces SoO to go back, but SoO's also doing a nice job at the same time, denying those Hellions from doing a lot of damage.
Indeed they are. We have Baneling speed on the way, as well as the 2-2. Going to complete very soon here for SoO. And Bbyong, he is just starting his 2-2. His combat shields are going to complete. That's going to help him deal with those mutas a little bit easier. And overall, still, SoO has a very solid lead over his opponent. 148 to 121 supply, but he hasn't decided to try to end the game yet. That's one of the harder things to do in this matchup. You can get a nice lead, but in order to seal the deal, you really just have to crush your opponent.
Yeah, and SoO's doing a nice job just trying to make sure he doesn't get crushed by his opponent when he's trying to go for the tech switch right now, because he has 16 mutas on the way, and nice overload coverage around the map, which means that Bbyong's drops are not going to do any damage.
Drops? What drops, man? We haven't seen drops the entire game.
Well, the thing is that he can't go for the drops because of the mutas. That's the key point right now, and he's also doing a nice job trying to pick up few widow mines here and there if he sees them. Well, and SoO, he cannot engage into this army because there's a lot of widow mines. There's also a nice siege tank line behind it. But all he has to do right now is buy enough time to get the hive out.
Overseer gets picked off there, but a few of these units are going to pay the price for that. We did see a few Marauders and a Marine get taken out there. All right, the Muta count, or Muta flock, is now flying across the map towards the main base. We do have a drop finally from Bbyong. I guess maybe 10 minutes late. Or not 10 minutes, but like 5 minutes late.
5 minutes late, but the problem is, once it goes scouted, those mutas are going to go over there. But the
engineering
bay, one of them will get taken out.
Ooh, the +2 armor gets canceled here. And SoO, I think he realizes what's going on here, is sending some units back to help defend against the drop at the third. Now, looks like Bbyong wants to go ahead and start clearing out the area for his 4th base. Finally, we have some economic damage here, potentially getting done by Bbyong. But, I mean, look at that. Look at the Zerg army just running forth there, taking out the medevac, completely clearing out those units. Barely losing a drone there, and
what economic damage?
Yeah, pretty much nothing. We do have tunneling claws upgrade though for the widow mines on the way, the drilling claws, and there's still a good amount of widow mines on the map here. But SoO, he has just got a ridiculous amount of units. He's almost maxed out in this position. And going to pick off some of these units here that are out of position.
Nice play by Bbyong. SoO, actually, he's actually denied the medevac drop once again. Because of the number of mutas that he has, he still needs to be careful and runs away from the middle widow mines just in time.
Yeah, the only thing I could... Okay, SoO, he has 2 overseers with his army.
Yeah.
So he should be okay on that front. He's going for the Adrenal Glands upgrade to make those Zerglings attack like cracklings. He's getting the 3-3 Ultra Cavern, Greater Spire, everything from SoO, man.
Well, he knows that he is so far ahead in this game, he could afford every single one of those buildings. And since the mutas haven't been taken out, those drops are not as scary right now. All he has to do is spot one, send back the mutas, and defend.
Yeah, SoO is also taking a 5th expansion behind this. I love how often he'll take expansions in various matchups here. He's not afraid to grab an extra one if he's ahead, and you know what? Tops off to him for doing that.
And this is so hard for the Terran player to be in, right? This is a hard situation for the Terran player to be in right now, because the engineering bay is going to get denied once again. But if you look at the bigger picture, when the Zerg player tries to go for the Ultralisk or the Greater Spire, that's when the Terran player pushes out and kills the Zerg player when they try to go for the tech switch. And we're not seeing that happen because Bbyong, he doesn't have full base economy. The upgrades are getting denied constantly. 2 E-base get taken out.
That's terrible. That means he's going to be stuck on +2 attack, +1 armor, and that's going to be versus a 3-3 Zerg army very soon here. How scary is that, man?
You don't want to be in this position as a Terran player.
No. As any race, you don't want to be that far behind in upgrades.
I mean, at this point, Bbyong should be in the middle of the map trying to harass the 4th base of SoO, trying to take out the 3rd hatchery. That's what's supposed to happen when SoO is going to try to transition into Ultras, into some Infestors here and there, into Brewlords, but we're not seeing that happen in this game because SoO, he has the dominance over his opponent when it comes to map control.
He's got the map dominance. He's got everything, man. He is ahead in spades in every way imaginable over Bbyong. The drops have never done any damage, and there's only been a few of them. SoO's got pretty much every upgrade in the book. He's playing phenomenally here. And even spotting the upgrade, or the medevac going on there. And, you know, there's 2 spines and a spore there to help defend. I'm sure SoO will eventually be able to pick off those units there. And, you know, he could even lose that base and still be miles
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, there's also a left bottom base, which is well fortified over here, as the Zerglings are going to eat away on the Marauders.
Oh.
Bbyong finally moving out on the map. He does have a nice Widow Mine count, however, and right now the most of SoO's army is Zerglings.
And most of Bbyong's army is Widow Mines.
Which means that if SoO mismicros, all those Zerglings are gone.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and look at the bank here for SoO.
Yeah, well,
5K minerals.
Seems like he doesn't even care as he engages right now. He even ignores the Widow Mines that are out of position. One Ultra going to get picked off because there's no Zergling support, but the rest of the army are going to get trapped.
Yep, the Baneling's just rolling forward here, and okay, it looks like they're going to move back for now. They're respecting Bbyong's micro in control there, but 58, 60 8-lings on the way, 3 Ultras in production, and the Banelings move forward and do connect a few more of those units. Let's not forget the upgrade differential here. We have a +2 attack, +1 armor Terran versus a 3-3 Zerg player.
Upgrade difference, the economy difference, and the unit composition difference between the 2 players.
It's only going to get worse for time. SoO, he did lose a few creep tumors around the middle of this map, but he's sending some queens over there to rectify that issue, and now about half the map's covered with creep.
Yeah, so now Bbyong sitting at 169 supply. He's going to get maxed out pretty soon once again. But starting from now, he needs to make sure his splits are perfect. And he also needs to make sure he lands perfect scans inside the main base to see what Bbyong is, SoO is going for. But SoO also doing a nice job, lands a bailing mine on some of the Marines over there. Going to deny the 5th command center over here as those Marines and Marauders are picked off once again.
Yeah, we have 16 Widow Mines out for Bbyong, and I think that kind of makes it really hard for the Zerg player to really just go for a frontal attack here. He's going to need the Broodlords or something that can really just soak up those Widow Mines hit.
I mean, there's a reason why SoO is not ending the game right now, because he knows there's so many Widow Mines that one little mistake, he gives Bbyong a chance to come back into this game.
But losing that command center is going to hurt Bbyong even more. They're both maxed out, but like we mentioned before, you know, the upgrade differential, the army supply, and some excellent Baneling shots going on there, but the Widow Mines are going to get picked off in that location, and SoO takes another victory, a small victory here in the army trades, and now going for an additional expansion that's going to bring him up to 6-man.
Oh, this really hurts. He needs to have perfect micro with his bio units and just start eating on the Zergling first, and then possibly the Ultras. Going for the drop is nice. It's going to cripple his opponent's economy a little bit, but I think it's a better idea to have that army over here with the main army to deal with the Mutas and the Ultras.
Now we have SoO. He's up 176 to 134 supplies, but this drop is doing a lot of damage at the 5th base here of SoO. The spines have been taken out. The Banelings all connected with a single Marauder, and it didn't even die.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter as SoO also has another base on the 12 o'clock position, so all he has to do is run his drones over there. And he still has a huge bank behind this. He doesn't even need this base. 3k minerals, 3k gas as a Zerg player.
Yeah, and he's about to complete the Broodlords as well. They are going to be able to help out so much against the Widow Mines that are quite annoying and kind of preventing SoO from taking out Bbyong here.
And Bbyong has a nice army right now against the Zergling and the Ultras that SoO has. The problem is he has nothing against the Broodlords. He's making 2 starports behind this, but look at the economy right now. Only 500 minerals, 500 gas. He is mined out at the natural. He needs to take a 5th base soon if he wants the Vikings against the Broodlords.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to need those Vikings. The Marauder count, really impressive here. It's, of course, going to deal with those Ultras, like we mentioned, but the Mutas are still around and doing a lot of good damage here. The Zergling and Banelings doing their job as well here. Moving forward now towards this 5th expansion of Bbyong. It's mainly just Marauders, though. Where is the anti-air? Fungals go down, but the Infestors, they're so slow after getting hit by those concussive shells. They're going to be scared away. And the Broodlords doing their damage here. More are moving across the map. The Muta's dealing with those Marines quite well with the Broodlord support. And yeah, that expansion is going to have to get lifted, or it's just
even if it gets lifted, the Corruptors are there, the Mutas are there, so the command center, goodbye.
Yeah, it's not going to survive here. And the Widow Mines, oh no, they're getting hit by the Broodlords now. And yeah, Broodlords are really good at dealing with the Widow Mines, I have to say.
Yeah, Bbyong trying to be fantasy a little bit, trying to plant the Widow Mines under the Broodlords to get a perfect shot on the air units, but it's not going to happen as there's too many Broodlords, there's too many Fungals on the Widow Mine to prevent such thing from happening.
Fungal there hitting all of those Marines, and the Broodlords are going to go to town on them. And now, with the proper army composition, Mutas, Lings, Banelings, Ultralisks, Broodlords, infestors pretty much everything in the Zerg arsenal. He is going to press forward here towards the natural of the Terran opponent. I think this is going to be it for Bbyong. GG.
So SoO defeats Bbyong in semifinal 2-0. He will face Trend, who won the first game against Savage 2-0 in round of 4.